Wow. Wow is all I can really say for the new Block Tales demo. It came out around a few days ago. I played it and finished it the first day, and it's great. It's beautiful. But anyway, before I do get any deeper, just play the new demo if you haven't already. It's amazing. Also, because, spoilers. So yeah, this game is shaping up to be my most favorite Roblox game ever. Mainly because, what I've seen in this demo, I don't think I've seen it anywhere else on this website before. Most games I play in Roblox nowadays are honestly just mostly recycled formulas. But this game right here just breaks the mold, and the most recent demo just proves me right. Let's just start off by saying how impressive this game is. The map designs are great and perfectly match the aesthetic that I think they were going for, like they always have been. Especially the map in, I'll touch more in that specific part later in the video. But the combat also got a lot more interesting, mainly due to the enemies. The variation of attacks was expanded so much from Demo 2, and the enemies' special abilities, such as a vampiric ability, resurrection, and much more. So I'd say I've played probably more than around 8 hours of overall gameplay, and the fighting still hasn't gotten that tiring or boring yet, which I applaud. Usually for me, turn-based games take a while to actually get interesting in terms of combat, but in this game, it's just a continuous ride of the combat being more fluid, engaging, and just entertaining. So with all that said, what truly made the newest demo brilliant? There's a lot of factors, to be honest. For one, gameplay is way better. Talking about all the aspects this time. Puzzles, exploration, combat, all of them. It just keeps on getting better and more innovative, which is honestly kind of surprising. And two, just the overall mood of the game, to be honest. And three, the story. Now, this isn't my first priority at all when I play a game, but honestly, I was pretty invested. Even though I didn't read every single piece of dialogue, I could still comprehend the entire meaning of it, I think. From start to finish of this entire demo, the story stayed pretty consistent and involved recurring characters that were enjoyable. Also took the time to talk to every NPC, which you should probably do in this game because they add to the vibe of the overall world in pretty humorous ways as well. But the main highlight of this demo is, of course, the switch up. The transition to the dream world, which is what I believe the place is called. You enter this so-called world due to the Ghost Walker, the third sword you need to collect in your journey. They tell us directly not to touch the sword without the help of the Ghost Chef, but I guess we do it anyway because, I don't know, the Call of the Void. So anyway, after that, we're greeted by Builder Man, and holy shit. The difference in everything was shocking. When I first saw the map design, my first instinct was obviously,
whoa! Amori!
But this entire final section of the demo completely blew my non-existent socks off. The change from a 3D lively blocky world to whatever this is, it was really different and peak. It was such a sudden shift, but it turned out great. The dream world part probably helped solidify this game's placement as one of my favorite Roblox experiences of all time. So anyway, to actually talk about the world itself, it's obviously, not a retro look anymore. I'd say everything's kind of 2D, even the enemies. We also seem to be in some sort of hand-drawn world that represents many forms within our mindscape. The forms of different emotions and feelings, some like greed, solitude, and isolation, and I believe anger. So it is to be a world of our own self-reflection and just self, as it literally includes dreams, the traversal of your own mind, and also just to name the bosses, which I already just listed. It starts off with a false sense of comfort, especially with Builder Man, and then it eventually degrades into true horror. Also, the eeriness of the evolving soundtracks just add to it, although some are actually quite bangers, even for a Roblox game. But this entire section is how you can just switch the vibe and create a space of uneasiness. It's so genius. Now, me alone and many others were not expecting for the final quarter of this game to go this way. We were all expecting for some true spookfest to happen, since that was kind of shown and kind of advertised everywhere. I mean, we do fight the mask guy, and never again.
That's phase 1 though, come on now. Yo, what?
Unless you go to the pit, but like, that doesn't really count. But to which this demo still revolves around some spookiness for a decent chunk. So yeah, Dream World was still a complete 180 turn. A turn for what I believe to be a great experience that hasn't been done in, any Roblox game I've seen before. And again, the story in this section might be a little bit cliche to true JRPG players, but it's still really beautiful. Going towards self-consciousness, going after each negative feeling and emotion, and in the eventual acceptance is pretty cool. It truly helps to put the peak in Peak Tales. So about everything else in the game, it's also pretty good. He added a good amount of miniature details, like a brick effect when you hit a wall, and also the addition of new layers to the pit, which I think more people should do if they want some sort of difficulty spike. But back to the combat, like I've said, it is still innovative as always. There's new cards here and there, like new spells, but the most important one has to be the new summons. Upon a hefty amount of SP, you can get assistance from a person, or persons. You can also inflict the same things you could inflict yourself and other players onto them, like a charge buff, so it's just kind of like another teammate. Bad thing is, you can't really control them, just like we're back in the Fez days. It's fine though, because it makes the game more balanced. Also, just like I was saying a few minutes ago, the enemies have gotten way more interesting to fight. They got gimmicks that aren't based around the whole timing part of the fighting, which I think is a great addition to the game other than bosses just summoning minions. It adds much more substance and actual planning for moves, and it's also a decent restriction to counter throwing random bullshit at the enemy. This has definitely, in my opinion, been the most stacked one too. It has almost everything I could have asked for, and they set the bar higher than I ever could have expected as well. With the second demo, I thought the game was falling off a little bit. Things happened too fast, and it wasn't as smooth as the first demo in terms of the general story and exploration. The gameplay was still better though, because I don't think it screwed that up. But with the release of this third demo, it just makes me realize the true potential that Roblox games could have. I think the pacing was great, the flow of every aspect was amazing. I just think the only flaw I come across is probably the final segment, or the final boss. It was slightly anticlimactic, but it was fine. I mean, we didn't even have an accepting your true self scene.
Don't go. I like you.
But otherwise, I truly believe this game is a masterpiece in my eyes. I don't use that word heavily, so when I mean it, I mean it. One of the best experiences I've ever had on Roblox so far, especially with the final act, just nailing that in the coffin. So yet again, please play this game. Give this game some goddamn visits so the developers feel encouraged and inspired to continue this beautiful game. And even if you don't like turn-based games, you should still give it a try. And if you hate it, then guess you need some better taste. But anyway, this is a quickie because I just want to get it out and talk about one of the best Roblox games out right now. So with that being said, see ya fellows.